I stopped trying to be an alpha male. I stopped trying to be this hyper masculine guy who is always in control and always tough, emotionless. And I think that's just like the culture that we live in, especially with the rise of content. Pretty sure you've seen this type of videos where guys and girls sit in the same table and they discuss about roles and discuss about like feminism, how much do you bring to the table and what's your responsibilities, etc. Like I sit there and think like, really? Have we come to this? We have to discuss every single thing, and we have to like sit there and brag about ourselves like, yeah, I had like pulled this many girls and then I do this much money and then I go to gym, like what's up? A few years back I also wanted to become an alpha male who's like very tough, and like you just walk into the room, all the women notice you, men are like, oh, you know what, you're the man. That's the fantasy that I had. I wanted to be recognized and have status in social situations. And then I started seeing these things from a different perspective, and I started being a bit more chill about myself and actually became confident instead of pretending to be confident. I started realizing that, you know, this is a bunch of BS. Like the things that you want to show other people and the things that you hide inside just to act tough and look like you are tough, that's not gonna cut it. Now, does that mean that I'm a weak ass beta male? I don't know. I don't think so. The main argument that I'm gonna make in this video is that like instead of trying to be confident and trying to be King Kong, tapping your chest, being that tough guy, instead of that, if you are already confident, if you already got what it takes, if you already can talk to any girl you want, if you can do whatever you want, for me that is the epitome of masculinity. That's the epitome of success. Being a traditional alpha male that people think about is not gonna help you one bit. So here's my problem. I think I see people just trying to be that guy, you know, like tough guy. Yeah, you go to the gym. Yeah, you deadlift or bench press 5 plates or whatever. Who the F cares? To be honest, I could not give a single F about how much you lift, how much you bench press, how much you deadlift, how much you pull up. Couldn't care less. If you are stronger today than you were yesterday, that's the only thing that matters to me, and that's the only thing and that's the only metric that you should determine yourself with. You should determine your success and growth with. Literally, I could not care at all how much I bench press or pull up. Don't get me wrong, I want to be very good looking, I want to be the best version of myself, but at the same time, I'm not too attached to ego, right? This is something that I had to work on myself. This is something that many of us, especially men who want to be alpha males, most of us, we have to work with these things, letting some things go, especially our ego. Most of the things, they come from egocentric thinking. Even if you're taking cold showers, you're meditating, reading books, doing all of this amazing stuff, at the end of the day, if you want to impress people, if you want to brag about it, it's still coming from an ego. Go out, ask any girl, what do you think an alpha male is? Pretty sure 90%, 95, 99% of the times that girl's gonna say, well, he's probably gonna be like kind of bold, like looking like The Rock, jacked, huge, aggressive, destructive, toxic, and controlling. That's precisely the problem that we have created for ourselves. We think that being an alpha male is that guy who is riding a motorcycle full on testosterone. But then if you really think about it, what is the meaning of an alpha male? Okay, he's the leader of the pack. So what is a leader? A lot of people, we misunderstand the meaning and purpose of being a leader. Being a leader does not mean boss around, order people to do some things. You are amazing and everyone else is less than you, so you probably are better. Being a leader means you have some experience, knowledge, expertise, and you are willing to sacrifice yourself for the good of the people, for the good of the group, for the service of the team. Leaders, the true leaders, they do not belittle you. They inspire you, right? They lift you up. They're not gonna judge you, right? Like, oh, you have no girls, etc. He is gonna help you. He's gonna encourage you and inspire you. By the looks of it, the traditional masculine alpha male guys, their thoughts is like, I wanna have all the girls drink booze and look buff. Internet is contaminated by this wannabe alpha male sissy divas. Alpha male does not mean you are a destructive, toxic guy. Alpha male means you are so good, so dangerous that you are fully in control of yourself. Think about Jason Statham in most of his movies, or James Bond. Like, do you think those people are toxic or destructive, scream and hit their women? Or do you think they're so good and confident with themselves that they don't need to prove shit to no one? Being totally fine with yourself, with your abilities, and with how capable you are as a man has to be the biggest metric that you have to measure yourself with. The biggest metric that you measure your growth with. It does not matter if you're an alpha male, beta male, sigma male, omega, whatever the heck you want to call yourself with. If you make progress, if you are confident in your abilities, that is the biggest metric you have to measure yourself with. Not how much you bench press, how many girls you pulled last night, materialistic, shallow things. So this is the reason number one why I stopped trying to become an alpha male or trying to pretend like I'm that zero emotions, always the toughest guy in the room, bragging about myself, lifting my ego high up. None of those things helped me in my life in general, so I think none of those things are gonna help you. There's another thing that I want to mention. I think it's gonna be the reason number two why I stopped trying to be an alpha male, and that's gonna be acknowledgement. Acknowledging your insecurities, acknowledging your shortcomings, and acknowledging all the trauma that you have. Like, think about it. All of these guys who are like wannabe alpha male sissies, who are like pumping their chest and being aggressive and fighting everyone and drinking beer and traditional wannabe alpha males, why do you think they are that way? Do you think they are that way because they genuinely are? Or maybe this is their defense mechanism? Maybe at some point in life they have been hurt by someone, or maybe a girl dumped them because they did not have sufficient communication skills, or maybe they did not have any type of recognition from school, university, in their life, families, you name it. So instead of acknowledging this type of problems and instead of working on them, right, as an adult should, you tend to hide them deep down below, just like any traditional alpha male does, and then pretend like you're the tough guy, calling women disrespectful names and thinking like you're above them and thinking like, oh, I'm the man, you gotta do this and this, keeping them very much in control. These are all actions and behaviors of a very insecure guy who is trying to act tough, who is trying to convey a message to other people as if he is confident, but in reality he is not. He does not have self-esteem. He is not totally and fully confident in himself, so he has to control his girl 24/7. That's the problem that I have with most of the guys. Instead of acknowledging those problems that you have, insecurities and shortcomings, we usually tend to mask them or cover them with some type of behavioral changes, as if we are the guy. Look at me, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say, hey, you know what, come here and act cool, sunglasses, shaved head, beard, muscles, buff. And so if you see this red pill or black pill communities, honestly cannot really differentiate, don't know any difference between them, who think that women are bad by nature. Women exposed, they watch this type of videos, right? Women nature exposed. Kings, focus on yourself, don't even pay attention to women. Women are gonna cheat on you. Who has to be held responsible for all the shortcomings that you have? Is it women? Is it the women nature? There are different people, there are different behaviors, but if a woman is unfaithful to you or not loyal or cheats on you, it really is not her fault. The fact that she did this thing is not good. She shouldn't have done this. She should have talked to you, broken up with you, made things clear. But also, what is the reason? What's the initial reason she's doing those things? Is it because she's happy in the relationship? Is it because she values you? Is it because she sees a purposeful guy who is following his dreams and passions and goals and ambitions? Or maybe she doesn't see none of those things in you. So instead of saying women only want money, women only want status, women only want to go out to dinners and have food, and they only want vacations, why don't you take a hard look in the mirror and say, hey, you know what should I do to become the best version of myself? Should I be a butthurt alpha male guy who is toxic and shits on women? Or should I be the guy who is strong, at the same time gentle, nonchalant, but at the same time very smart? Like, what kind of qualities I have to adopt and build in myself so that I can attract women, so that women want to be in my life? If you are a high value, high status man, who the hell doesn't want to be with you? Women is headache, loss of money, they only want money, they only want this, they're materialistic creatures. None of those arguments are gonna work until you do. Because the truth is, if a girl is genuinely interested in you, dating is gonna be very cheap. If you're on your grind, if you're confident, not even by nature, but because of the skills that you've built and because of the self-esteem that you've acquired through action, if you are that guy, dating becomes easy. Women become easy. The last reason why I stopped trying to be an alpha male, pretending to be a traditional alpha male, is because I've realized that alpha male is not about flexing, it's about inspiring. If you think there is someone who is better than you, would he want to make you feel bad? Probably not. Look, man, I'm not saying to be a masculine, abundant, confident man, you should not work on yourself or you should not strive to be the best version of yourself. I'm not saying those things. You should absolutely do everything in your power to devote the rest of your life to making progress. But at the same time, why do you do those things? To facilitate growth? Or to brag to other people? Do you want to make money, or do you want to become famous among girls, or do you want to improve your communication skills to inspire other people, to help them, or to genuinely do good in this world? Or are you just about flexing? If you're a trainer, a teacher, a leader, your main task is not to belittle other people and divert your attention to you. That's an egocentric way of thinking. At some point, you gotta realize that, hey, you know what? I don't want to be on the receiver position. I want to be in the giver position. If you go out there, do not expect compliments from other people. Do not expect that they're gonna say, hey, you know what, you're the man, you play football very good, or you're jacked, or you can pull girls, etc. You should not expect to be a receiver. If you want to be genuinely fulfilled and happy and abundant and masculine, you should be on the position of giving. You should go out there and say, you know what, hey dude, I can see you're not doing the deadlift with the perfect correct form, so how about I correct you? You can avoid some potential injuries. I know you're jobless, but I can refer you to my company. Or maybe something else, I can teach you how to do business, I can teach you how to make sales. And instead of flexing, hey, you know what, I got 50 racks on my bank account, or I got this and that, this watch, couple $1,000. Instead of talking about those things, why don't you inspire people and help them out? This is one of the things that you learn from reading about most influential people from history. People even in the religion, they are very much serving. They do not really brag. For me, most of those people are the true definition of an alpha male. The guy who is so competent and so confident in himself that he does not want to prove anything to other people, but at the same time he can inspire other people, teach them, mentor them, coach them, and make them better. A true alpha male does not flex. He does not brag. He does not belittle other people. He does not make other people feel like shit. So it's not about being the best guy and beating everyone. It's more about like you already know about yourself. Your position is confident, who already knows what he is capable of. So when you're in that position, you do not sit there and brag about those things that you have. You try to help other people out. It's good if you're rocking some rings and you got the newest phone, flexiest car. At the end of the day, like if you think about it, who cares, man? If you are not making positive change in the world, if you are not contributing to other people's lives somehow, then you have absolutely no right to pretend like you are the alpha male, that you are the guy, that you are the man. I stopped being an alpha male because the definition of an alpha male and the picture and the portrait of an alpha male guy that we have doesn't really serve any purpose, doesn't really contribute to my life, or does not give me any confidence, does not give me any insights. So instead of trying to pretend like I'm the man and always like flexing and showing off and bragging about yourself, better be humble, make impact. The most masculine, most alpha male thing that you can do is be so confident in yourself and so comfortable with yourself that you not flexing is gonna be your biggest flex. Because if you truly are a masculine, confident, competent man who has high self-esteem and is comfortable with himself, you don't need no approval from people, you don't need no validation, and most importantly, you don't need any attention. If you find this video helpful or insightful, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next one.